We're getting a nice soaking rain. It's been a nice steady rain. It's not too heavy. It's pretty consistent. Everything's wet. But as much rain as we've been getting lately, the ground has already been kind of wet. So it's all, even though it's a slow rain, it's still sitting in puddles everywhere because it can't soak into the ground. But this, it does soak into the ground. It's just really slow. If we get a heavy rain, then it just all washes off the surface. Since it won't soak in, you just get erosion. But we really need this rain to just soak deep into the ground and restore what all that the trouble the drought was causing. I made a little tent right here for my air compressor because the cord doesn't reach all the way to the house. And of course it's raining. So today I'm working on getting this all closed in where the attic of the home is not open to the garage. That's a code thing that I already mentioned one time before. So I've got my plywood up, and then I need to close all those little openings at the top. So I'll have to put in blocks across the top. I gotta put blocks on my seams. And I also have to put some blocks down here at the bottom to close that up. So it's a process of just cutting blocks. So Cindy wants to start a few plants. Just barely getting started with a little bit of something. It's not a whole lot right there, but for this season, there's just certain things you can get started, so that's what she's doing. She wanted me to put up one of these grow lights. We actually bought these grow lights at an auction, so we got a really good deal on them, and I've got a few more of them. But right now, all we need is just the one. So I just put a little hook in the ceiling, and the other side, I just have the chain hooked onto the garage door opener. And I did check the garage door opener. It stops right about where that hook is. So there's our little start in the garage in here. We got all these tables. Well, not only for setting out seeds and making some plans, but a place to sort through some eggs. And when we have guests over, the kids can come down here and they can draw and play games and stuff while adults hang around upstairs talking. Caleb's wanting to put a new exhaust system on his car. He's already got the parts and he's seeing what he can do to get that. He has to drop down his rear end to be able to. I got all this wood put in, all the blocking at the top and everything. It needs to be sealed up so that there's no gaps. Like here, you can see a little bit of sunlight through the holes. I'll use some fire caulk to do that. And then over here, we need to do the house wrap for the framing inspection. But it's so windy today. Right now, the breeze isn't even blowing, but there's a forecast of heavy winds. And it was blowing pretty heavy earlier. And I know by the time we get some rolled out and put on there, it'll be wrapping all around our heads and everything. Instead, I'm just getting a head start on putting in some electrical boxes. These are up high for the countertop in the kitchen and the refrigerator. And then over here, we got one high for the TV. And I'm putting in a block to mount the TV. As soon as I mention there's no wind and have just enough time to get started, there goes the wind. Since y'all are here with us on the farm, we are sharing our good times and our bad times. We've had another situation that was terrible. The sheep were in a pen down here in the field. some dogs came and attacked them, and when they get attacked, they run out of the fence. So one of them got tangled in the fence down here, and we just heard a little bit of dog barking, and it sounded close, so we just took a look just to see if we saw any dogs, because that's the biggest predator, the biggest threat to our animals is dogs. And we've said it before, people dump dogs out here because it's sort of a hidden away place where it's easy for them to just release old pets that they don't want anymore, which is horrible. The one sheep got caught in the fence and couldn't get away, so the dogs were attacking that sheep. By the time I figured it out and ran them off, they had really injured the sheep bad enough that it wasn't going to be able to recover and be okay. So we had to put the sheep down and bury it the other night. And this was going into the dark, where we're digging a grave in the dark to put our sheep in, and it was really just terrible. But Rico came over and helped. It was awesome to get that much help. He dug probably more than half the hole, because he's younger and stronger. So anyway, we set up the sheep now under the solar panels where they feel kind of comfortable and a little bit sheltered. And so that's where they've been the past few days. I think next time we move them, we're going to move them over here to this little field beside the house so we can continue to keep an eye on them for a little while. And then we'll start them back in their rotation again. So that's the second sheep we've lost. One just got sick and died in just a few hours, and we had no idea what in the world happened to it. The other attacked by a dog, and the dog had torn her leg muscle where she was not going to be able to walk. And so it was just a horrible situation. Could hear the wind blowing last night. It was blowing really hard, and our blinds were rattling in our bedroom, and all I could imagine was this roofing tearing off again, but it's been doing just fine. The roofing material that's really going to hold this on, the metal that's going to cover this up, is coming later this week. So if it can just stay on there long enough for us to get metal on it, we'll be good. It's only been 4 days, and that broccoli is already coming up. I couldn't remember what was being planted, but it's broccoli. And it sort of makes sense because broccoli is one of the seeds that you use if you're sprouting. I don't know if you've done that before, but you can grow sprouts in your house that you maybe throw in a salad or cook with them or whatever. And their sprouts are super nutritious. So like I'm saying, that makes sense that broccoli would sprout quickly. I kind of thought it'd be a couple of weeks, but like I said, I didn't even know what we were planting the other day. So we had another 24 hours of heavy winds. Fortunately, the roof is still okay. Actually, I haven't even checked the roof yet. Yeah, it looks like the roof is okay. So day after tomorrow, we're supposed to get the metal. Looking forward to getting that on there. As I keep saying, yeah, the other side is okay too. So everything's good over there. But I can see that we had some serious gusts because we had the sheep house flip over again, which I'm just discovering this morning. And the sheep are telling me all about it. It also created an obstacle by going over the fence that kept them from coming outside the fence. So that's good, but it looks like it might have destroyed one of my poles right here. Back over. I was scared it was gonna continue to flip and go back on the other side. But I got it up. Well, this stake bent over, but maybe we can fix it without breaking it. So this one should be pregnant, and this one should be pregnant. We're hoping for lambs. They do look a little wider. They look like they can be carrying. So we're hoping for lambs in about a month and a half, something like that. You'll hear all about it when we do have lambs. Okay, I'm gonna get their house now. We have huge plans for the spring, probably more than we could ever do. We're gonna be gardening all over the place. I just ordered some asparagus. Asparagus is a cool thing because one, it's really good for you, but two, it's something that you can plant once and it'll last for maybe 15 or 20 years and just keep going and producing. I'm hooking up the sheep house so I can drag it. But we're planning to get this garden space over here going for the first time. We're going to, on the other side of the picnic shelter, we're going to start planting some stuff. I think we're gonna try doing potatoes in bales of hay. So there's plans for all our garden spaces. Plus we have meat birds on the way, and we have lambs birthing. We need to shear our sheep, all kinds of stuff.